I hate the beginning of this where it says it's starting, and I know that we're already probably live. I hate this part. There we go. Now I know for sure that it's live. Hey, everybody. It is the Angry Honey Badger here. And it is, in fact, time for Patch Notes 6.8. And joining me, of course, is the one and only Squiggles McWiggerson. Oh, no, wait. It's bonus content.
McWiggerson.
It's Wiggerson.
Wow, that got real racist real quick.
What? I thought that was your name. Sorry. If anybody's wondering why I sound so weird, I have a cold. So, yeah.
So he's angry, sick badger.
This is an angry sick badger who got the sick,
Mm.
which sucks, but it's what happens. So, cannot really do much about that, okay? If you could leave us a like on this stream if you're watching it live and or video, we would greatly appreciate that. It actually does help the channel. So if you want to support the channel, hit the like button. I'm just gonna be blunt with it. So, but yeah, we're gonna talk about patch 6.8. Not a million changes, but some actual significant changes I would say are happening in this patch. Mostly nerfing some of the things that really need nerf, to say the least. There's some blatantly overpowered stuff in the game right now, so that will be getting nerfed. And I will be updating the tier list, and all that will be fun. My poker face. Let's talk about Taric. He is going to be getting his rework this patch. It will be live. It will be happening. I think it looks interesting. I think it'll be nice to see him updated. I think he visually needed it anyways. His kit was okay, but now it's going to be probably pretty... I want to say it'll be contested in pro play at least. It looks very, very good if you're going to be able to play him correctly, because some of the invulnerabilities that you get with this kit and stuns and stuff look pretty strong, let alone his just base damage is also pretty strong. I don't know how much you've seen of this, Kyle. What do you think?
I think, and this is just my knee-jerk reaction because I haven't seen any. All I saw was the champion spotlight. But from what I saw is he could do no damage, and I think he'd still be good.
Yeah.
Because you have 2 AoE heals, you have 2 AoE invulnerabilities, you have 2 lines of stun that travel through stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have passive armor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Taric will be viable, I believe. I guess it just kind of depends on how other champions interact with this new kit. I don't see him being like an Alistar level yet, but he could definitely be there.
I think it will, first of all, with supports, such as, for instance, Bard. Despite Bard coming out a little weak and getting some buffs up, it takes everybody a little bit of time just to get the feel of the new support, because supports actually have a really intricate role in the game, and I think playing support to a high level is actually really difficult in some cases. So I think there will just be a big learning curve in general for anybody who's going to be playing Taric. So if you do end up owning him already, or you don't play him much, I would say just take your time, because you're not going to probably do perfect things right away. It's going to take time to, feel it out.
I'm just thinking the pure every situation that I imagine Taric in, he's gonna be pretty good. Like when the top laner and the jungler are gonna be 2v1ing or 2v1ing camps at the start of the game. He has an AoE stun that's in a line, and usually you can probably hit both people with it. So just that little delay in that, force him to take extra damage and do damage yourself. He's I can't think of a reason why he won't be good, but I don't want to, like I said, knee-jerk react to what he can do. But I do like all of his new stuff.
Yeah, it looks good.
All of his new look, like the Fabio look. I think it's hilarious because it's actually kind of cool because the community kind of created this whole I feel like the community did more for Taric than Riot did in terms of personality.
Yeah.
Development. So just something to think about, I guess.
Yeah.
Fabio. Love Fabio.
Love Fabio. But yeah, I'll perhaps be taking a look at him soon on the channel. But yeah, we can look forward to his quote-unquote new release. Next up, though, or first up for actual champion changes, Echo. No big surprises here. He's been picked or banned constantly over the past few weeks. Tank Echo is in fact the problem. He's too strong. He has too much damage. So what they're going to do is on his W, Parallel Convergence, they are going to remove some damage. The passive on-hit damage, instead of it being 5% of the target's missing health, it's going to change to 3% of the target's missing health. And the passive on-hit ratio is going to be 1% per 33 ability power instead of 1% per 50, which basically puts power back towards the mage echoes instead of the tank echoes. And then it now does deal minimum of 15 damage to minions and monsters, so there is a minimum on it. And then on Phase Dive, kind of a nerf buff situation where base damage is being reduced, and then the actual ratio is being increased by 0.2, which once again puts more power back into Mage Echo. I tweeted about this a while ago, saying it'll be base stats and then probably ratios going up to help the AP Echoes. So I'm not sure we'll see tons of AP Echoes now, but this is just taking power specifically out of Tank Echo, and there's some other changes too later in the patch that affect him too.
I think Riot is trying to do too much. They're trying to dissuade people from playing Tank Echo and switching him to the AP Echo, but
Techo.
But I saw Faker play AP Echo against in the Korean Championships against KT, and he destroyed people. And so, like, they're trying to promote. It's not that AP Echo was bad. It was just that Tank Echo was so good because it fit the meta so well. But, like, they're moving us away from. You could literally just nerf Tank Echo by just taking, like, not taking off, but just taking out the chunks.
Yeah.
Like the extra 2% on his W passive, or just the base damage from E, or just the cooldown on E. And like he'd be okay, but they're trying to reposition like if you build AP, you're gonna get this burst damage. He already has shit tons of damage.
Yeah, he's got plenty. He got nerfed down a little bit, but they did buff him back up in certain areas.
Yeah, but like I think that he's already busted as an AP carry in the mid lane, and so this is not the correct way to fix him because you saw it, who played him at the finals. Someone played him AP Echo, and he like destroyed the person.
Yeah,
it's just like he has no weak. He can be built tank, or he can be built damage, and he has no weak point. So you need to just nerf him overall.
You can kind of build him in the middle too. You can kind of do like the pseudo AP, pseudo tank.
Yeah.
I think some of his other problems, like his strengths, come from like his slow on his Q and the movement speed. Like he's mobile.
You can basically use it every time it's like you can throw it and then it'll come back, and then you can throw it and then it'll come back. It's like there's no cooldown. There's no real cooldown on a slow.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually, as you talked about it, I'm going back and watching him destroy people on Echo right now.
Who, Fager?
Yeah, I'm watching it right now, and you're right. Yeah, I wanted to see his build.
It was just he built like Abyssal Scepter, and like then he just like started to completely control the game. And like I know it's Faker. You can't take the best player in the world as like a good like standard, but he's doing this against other great players.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this is probably the number like 3 mid laner in career right now.
Yeah.
And so, like, all right,
it's strong. We'll see people probably transition him back to mid lane damage. So everybody, if you want to get ahead on that, try it out. Echo's been in a fine spot for a while now. I think even before his prominence of Tank Echo rising, I still had him as an A tier mid laner because he has always been solid still. So
he just does so much.
Yeah, he does a lot. And like one of the nice things too, like always, is getting out of sticky situations with your ultimate. Like he can always escape most of the time. So.
Yep.
That's Echo. Next up on the chopping block is not actually getting chopped. It is Galio, who I call secretly OP. I played a lot of Galio. Kyle knows.
Galio.
Last week when he was free, because I was on my Smurf trying to rank that up. And I like Galio. I think he's fun, and I think he really throws a lot of players off. But Galio is seeing a buff this patch. Small one, but it's a buff. On his Righteous Gust, the mana cost is being reduced. I definitely agree on this. It was too expensive for what it does and how you max it for Galio. So good change here. And then the movement speed, it's actually decreased overall at the end by a little bit, but it's a buff earlier ranks for all of them except for that last one. So a little bit more movement speed on it too. Kind of makes it just more helpful or actually helpful now instead of it just kind of being a lackluster skill that he had until you decide to put more than a couple points into it. So good changes for Galio. Not a lot of play out of him, but I think I might start playing him more soon. As I also looked back on my main account, I haven't lost a game with Galio in over 2 years. Fun fact.
Wow.
Yeah, it must be like the only champion that I've like never lost a game on. So
The thing with Galio that I think is interesting is the fact that you now have 2 or 3 carry comps,
yes.
and like if you can catch 2 people in your ultimate, like the fight's already over. Like
yeah.
I know that you get so much more if you build AP, but you can like Galio is one of those champions where kind of like a Mumu, you could build him AP, you can build him like defensively and like still just destroy a game. So
Yeah.
I agree with the hidden OP, but it's kind of a niche thing.
Yeah.
Where if you're not good with him, then like if you just pick him up, it's gonna be kind of wonky at
Might
first,
be a
but
little
like
rough.
a few games into it, you'll start to see what veteran I mean by the.
Yeah. I might start working on a somewhat tank build for him because you don't really need that much damage with him for him to work successfully within the team. And you don't have to focus on just building magic resist either. I mean, you always get Merc Treads, and you always can get like one more magic resist item, and that actually gives you damage. So you kind of transition to a pretty tanky player who can heal themselves with your shields that you can put on anyone. So you can actually tank fairly well while dealing okay damage. And I think he does have a very impactful ult. It just is similar to like Gragas, who likes to have flash up to get into flash body slam. Galio's another champion who really likes to flash in to initiate his ultimate, which is unfortunate he has to use it that way. But with newer items in the game that allow you to have shorter cooldowns, like when you buy the boot enchantments, that does help him out a little bit, despite it not being a very popular thing we see. I think he can be used just difficult most of the time. So
Someone said that if you face Zed, you'll be sorry, and I don't agree with it. Like you had, like
no,
basically,
I did the other day, and no, I don't care about that at all. If he jumps on you with Death Mark,
yeah.
you get free kill, and he's only gonna auto you, so he won't be using any of his other abilities to get more proc damage. And if you put your shield on you, it essentially nullifies it. So no,
Yep.
I don't fear the Zed at all. And you don't just build magic resist when you're in an AD matchup. If somebody's trying to counter you that way, build armor. It doesn't matter. You just get the benefit of the great part of your passive. You don't have to build to it. You just are literally trying to kill yourself if you do that, which
Yep.
Galio players sometimes over tunnel on, but those are bad Galio players. So.
I agree.
Next up is Graves. His passive, New Destiny. The ratio on first hit is being reduced by 0.05 and by 0.1 as it scales. That means less damage. Bullets on crit, instead of 8, it's 6. But each crit bullet now deals 140% damage. Infinity Edge increases it to 160% damage. So it's kind of taking some damage out of him, unless you're building more towards a crit build.
So basically, if you build him that stupid, like, what is it? Death Stance, Steric's Gauge, Ma build,
yeah.
you won't be doing as much damage, but if you build him like a typical AD carry, if you do like a Phantom Dancer kind of build, then you're going to be doing more damage.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of sidebar really quick and go on a little mini rant. I hope you don't care.
Go for it.
But, like, at the start of the season, they were all about like, oh, we want to diversify each position. We want to get these champions in different positions. We want to see, top laners, bottom, and we want to see junglers in the bot lane, and we want to see AD carries in the jungle and the top lane. And now they're slowly starting to realize that was really, really dumb. Like in my opinion,
partially.
League of Legends is best when there's defined roles for every position. Like the games are most competitive, and they're the best to watch when you have a tanky top laner, when you have an AP mid, or like an assassin like, or support mid laner, depending on what you want, and then like bot lane, and then like a off tank bruiser jungle, because that's kind of what we see now. And I actually had a lot of fun watching the finals for the first time since like season 3.
Oh yeah.
Season 4 maybe, like the mid season 4.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't enjoy the Fiora.
That was boring. I agree.
Fiora blah 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 topic.
I don't know why it took so damn long to nerf that. I called the crap out of that.
Yep.
God, it was boring. They actually let Poppy stay up in prominence a little longer than I thought too, but I actually think she's more of a skill base instead of just straight
Yeah.
stupid damage.
Well, now
but,
she is.
yeah.
She
She's
was
where she should be
stupid.
now. She was a little strong for probably like half a month too long, but yeah. I have been enjoying a lot of Graves. He's actually the only champion I've bought on my Smurf to play. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll play him more as an ADC. I'll just build crit build now. I like it too. So
Yeah. But you could probably play him wherever and build
yeah,
crit
that's
and
that's why I
just be
bought.
at such an advantage in
That's why I
like
bought him
terms
on my
of skill.
Smurf though. You can play him in any position pretty much. So
Yeah.
next up on the patch is Kog'Maw. His Caustic Spittle is going to have more armor and magic resist shred on it, which is a good thing because it felt pretty worthless putting points into. So now it has more early. Still scales up to the same, but you get more early. But there's a small nerf on his Bioarcane Barrage where the on-hit base damage is going down from 10 to 30 to 4 to 20. So you take the positives with the negatives. I think this will help him feel actually better if you land your Caustic Spittle, but obviously damage being removed off of W is not that great. I also got like the hiccups in the middle of that sentence. Like, it was kind of weird.
I think this is what, like dissuade people from playing Kog'Maw even more because they just want people to take Q because even after they manipulated his numbers and stuff, people were still leaving Q untaken until they had to take it.
Yeah.
And so basically that just forces them to do that, and they're taking damage away from Bioarcane Barrage.
So now you have to land it if you want basically your damage back.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just like I don't think Kog'Maw is he's not a very good champion right now anyway, so I don't think we really have to say anything. They just nerfed his early game even more.
The biggest thing I don't like about him is his immobility. To me, that's the biggest problem. And we've talked about it a million times, is having to build a comp somewhat around him to make him work to the best effectiveness, which is never the best way to build or go. So next up is Master Boring, as I called him in the 1 minute patch. I think Master Yi's boring. He's just, you don't do anything. You literally press Q and then press nothing.
Well, you gotta press
Well, you gotta press E, I guess.
You gotta get that true damage.
I guess that's true. But besides those two buttons, you're pretty much done. Highlander is getting a 10% increase on the cooldown for the ultimate. The duration is being decreased by 3 seconds. And the extension on Killer Assist is being increased by 3 seconds. So essentially, you have to get kills or assists to keep your Highlander going, which it will for longer durations. So in team fights, it's actually better, but you won't have Highlander available as early because of the longer cooldown. And the duration is just shorter if you fail to get a kill or an assist and or just run away. It's shorter. So small nerf, but it's a buff to good Yis. Although if you're a good Yi, chances are you just, once again, pressed 2 buttons, so you're probably not that good. So, Master Yi. I think I explained it. He's so boring. God, he's a boring champion.
I honestly, I've changed my opinions a lot throughout my, league career, I guess you could call it. But Teemo used to be the champion that I wish that they would just take out of the game, because when he was on the other teams, he's so annoying, and then when he's on your teams, they always blow nuts. And I have now changed it. I want to go on the record and say Master Yi is my champion I wish they would take out of the game.
I agree. I'm with you. He is far more cancerous than Teemo, in my opinion.
He has no, regardless of what people tell you, he takes no skill to play, at all. He's an auto attack champion. All you have to do is make sure, people are going to be like, oh, well, you got to use your heal at the right time, your damage reduction heal at the right time, and you got to use Alpha Strike to dodge skill shots. How fucking hard is that? They're on point clicks. If it was a skill shot and you had to hit it in order to initiate the Alpha Strike.
Oh my god, they should do that for Alpha Strike. That'd be actually really cool.
If it was that, yeah, you'd have some skill involved, but all of his stuff is just brain dead, and so
that's why I don't like him. He is a brain dead champion. He's boring. He's just super boring.
And it's not I don't even have a hard time dealing with him, because all you do is you just stack 1 CC on him, and then you just blow his ass up before he can get out of the stun, and that's normally pretty easy. But Migu.
Migu. Yeah, he's just Just boring. Build two
Yep.
items, press two buttons,
Yep.
profit.
But maybe they like at the same time I say that he's brain dead, but they have a pretty good mix of like skill champions right now. Like you have the really high skill cap champions like Azir, um, and like I don't know, Vayne and Lee Sin, and then like you have like the not so hard champions like Master Yi and
Warwick and
Warwick. Well,
I
I don't
under
even I don't even see Warwick. Like Warwick, you have to at least know when to ult and who to ult.
yeah, that's true. But
Like, and he doesn't have fast clear. He doesn't like all he does is has unbelievable sustain early game, and then his everything else is kind of Magoo
yeah,
on him, in my opinion. But
yeah.
like maybe you're saying in terms of like he's safe, so it doesn't really. Yeah, I get what you're saying. You're
But
right.
I do agree. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing to have simplistic champions in the game.
But like
Like
old Taric was a perfect example. Like, have a champion be very basic and not have him be retarded.
Garen.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So, but like, yeah, it's yeah. But that's the funny thing is, this is a reworked Yi. You know, he was reworked. I mean, that was probably a year ago now, or 2 years ago. But
Or another example of a good champion that's pretty easy is Misfortune.
exactly, who's our next champion in the changes?
Oh.
See what we did there? She is having some changes to her strat. The attack speed duration is being increased by 1 second. The cooldown on it is being increased to 12 seconds from 8. Applying Love Tap no longer extends the duration, so you can't do that anymore. The cooldown now begins on cast instead of when the buff expires, which essentially makes up that cooldown,
Yep.
because that's the difference, the 4 seconds. While Strut is on cooldown, applying Love Tap reduces its cooldown by 2 seconds. It scales down with cooldown reduction as well. So you can actually get Strut to be on a shorter cooldown if you apply this after you are done with the cooldown, so you can reduce it, basically like how Graves gets cooldowns reduced on his dash when he auto attacks. Similar kind of style, except for this is activated with Love Tap.
I like Misfortune. I like her model and like what she like does.
Yeah, I do too, actually.
But like I don't think this will make her like super contested or anything. It's just
No,
the quality of life.
yeah, it's quality of life. I still think she has an insanely strong ultimate, though, with Lord Dominic's. A lot of
Oh
people,
yeah.
man, that shreds through teams. But
Oh yeah.
positioning, it's all about that position.
Yeah, it's like a little bit better team fighting Jin alt,
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
essentially.
yeah, I like it though.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for this next
Are you?
change.
Are you? This next
Oh
one's
my
interesting.
God.
It's on the Olaf. His Vicious Strikes lifesteal is being increased quite a bit early. Instead of 9%, he's going to get 14%. And it will scale up to 22, which is 1% more than it used to be. Then on his Ragnarok, passive armor and MR is going to be increased. Instead of it being 10, 20, 30, it's going to be 20, 30, 40. So he's actually going to get a little bit more. I had him a little bit higher in the tier list a couple patches ago, and I've been following him down. But hey, he's getting some power back, so maybe we'll bring him back up. But who knows? What do you like about it though, besides
I
buffs?
think, and this is just me,
Mm-hmm.
but I think if there was professional play in the next couple weeks, we would see a lot of Olaf on
We
this
would
bench
maybe.
because Maokai
He can
and
run.
Echo are both going to be monstrosities, and basically you're just going to put on the Nikes, hit your ultimate, have Hex Drinker, and just activate your W when you get low and destroy people.
Yeah. The one nice thing, one of the reasons when Olaf gets picked in competitive play, it's because crowd control is incredibly prevalent,
Yep.
and they're just like, we just need one person to get to the back line, right? And that's here's your boy, get him to the back line.
One thing that I wish that they would do is I wish that they would make it so when you kick on Ragnarok, you can run through as your ulti
Ah,
because it acts as a
it accesses
wall,
terrain, yeah.
so you have to run around it, which I think is kind of dumb. But I
It
understand
is.
why, but I think it would just make him a little bit even more scary. But I like the Hexy Drinker because the lifesteal on the shield plus the lifesteal that you get from W now, like I don't know, it just helps sustain early game too because you max Q obviously, and then Most people maxed W secondly, but like second, but you might see people max an E
Yeah,
second now just because you already get so much more lifesteal. Who
yeah.
knows?
We shall see.
I like it though.
Yeah. Next up is Rumble, who's actually getting positive changes, which is interesting. Rumble how now has a recommended item page for the jungle, since he's been getting played there more. His flame spitter damage to minions is being increased back up to 100% instead of it being 50%. And then the equalizer is getting a 10-second cooldown reduction at all ranks. So you'll have more equalizers, and your flame spitter will hurt the minions more. So buffs to a champion who I think is already in a good spot. So yeah, I like it. I really like Rumble. I think he's quite strong, and he's getting buffs.
I like the biggest part to me is the equalizer cooldown. Just because when you're picking Rumble, basically you're saying you're picking a team fight comp. Like you're not split pushing with Rumble. You're not, you're picking Rumble to win fights, win team fights.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest deal. But the flame spitter obviously helps because CSing with Rumble is actually, or like keeping the lane shoved out is really, really hard because your flame spitter did no damage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're an AP caster, like you're an AP champion, so your auto attacks don't do a lot of damage. So it was really hard to keep up the stacking of the minions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's a good change.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he is actually the last champion change.
Hello.
Hello. You're not so quiet coming in the front door now, are you? Just kidding. Splash updates are the next thing on the patch. Unification, we talked about this in the last patch. A lot of things coming through. These
Are you scrolling through these?
Pretty good. Yeah. Darius.
I like Darius as the best.
His looks
so
his
far.
looks good, yeah. I think
Rammus
Evelyn's
is actually
good,
awesome.
though.
It's very basic, but Rammus's is awesome.
But think about how old the current like Evelyn and Rammus ones are. And Fiddlesticks looks pretty good. Cannon's is really good because his is also super, super old. Blade Mistress Morgana is kind of nice.
I like how they just throw in one skin.
Yeah, that one was weird that they threw that one in. The Rammus one is simple, but it's good. I like it. Galactic Renekton looks okay. Swain, his is super, super old looking too. And then Warwick's is also.
Oh, you're talking about his old one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Same with Warwick's. His is also old.
Yeah.
Like these are good. I like them. Whoever does all their it's not one person, but whoever does their artwork, it's good.
It's getting better, in my opinion.
So
yeah, like actually putting flavor into each champion instead of just having their just them standing there,
Yeah.
So, and then the unification.
I like these. Yeah. So there's gonna be more obviously with others because there's more below. So here's a big long list if you want to take a look at it. Obviously head over to the patch notes or pause the video and read all of these crazy ones. Ooh, Pack Sivir even. Do I have Pack Sivir?
Ooh. Wait, what about Pack Sivir? Oh, it's getting redone.
Yeah, something like that. Interesting. But next is items, sir. Items. So further hitting on the tanks that all buy Iceborne Gauntlet, Iceborne Gauntlet is getting nerfed. Iceborne Gauntlet, it's Spellblade, the Sheen proc. It's only going to be 100% base attack damage instead of 125% base attack damage on it. So small nerf there. It's been pretty strong. Still probably going to be decent because the slow field's good, and since it actually grows now with the armor you have, it's still very strong. Ever since they added that, it's been good. But they're taking a little bit of damage out of the Iceborne Gauntlet. The Mercurial Scimitar. The cost is going down by 100 gold. Same with its combined cost, same thing. But the attack damage is being reduced by 10. It's really gold efficient, and with Quicksilver in it, it's a very strong item. A lot of people still don't buy this. If you're newer to the ADC role and you're looking to become better at it, and you haven't been buying Mercurial Scimitar to keep yourself safe, you should start buying this item immediately. This is what makes good ADC players from better ADC players. You should be able to be self-sufficient and buy items that help keep you alive. This is one of them. Buy it. You will love it. Don't forget that you have to activate it. But once you get used to that, you will win so many more team fights because of it. I can't stress that enough.
Materials was gold efficient without the active.
Yeah.
So what that basically means is it's like bonanzas. Like it's just so good.
Yeah.
And that honestly needed a little bit of a nerf. I'm not sure if this is enough. Just I think this is just making it so you actually have to pay for
Yeah.
active.
But one thing that naturally nerfs it is the fact that people aren't smart enough to buy it and use it.
Well, that doesn't nerf the item. That just means people are dumb.
Well,
Uh,
keeps it out of the hands of it being overly
yeah,
used and
yeah,
overly overpowered within the game source. So,
yeah. No, I get you.
yeah.
But yeah, I think this is a good nerf. It needed to be like it needed to happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then Corrupting Potion is seeing a little bit of a change. Health regeneration, instead of it being 150 per charge, it's only going to be 125. And then the mana regeneration is going to go up to 75. So you're basically trading out 25 health for 25 mana. I actually think I like that, personally. But this is just a change people will have to get used to if this is something you buy early. I don't always buy it early, but it's pretty good on a few champions. So I think it kind of comes down to personal preference and what you like.
well, basically, for me, Corrupting Potion is most broken when you get the Dark Seal, and so basically you're looking at 225 health to what 280 health per charge when you get that Dark Seal. So it's still going to be bought on most top laners, but
Yeah.
this once again helps champions like Echo and like Meowkai.
Champions that really need the mana. Poppy was buying it too, somewhat.
Exactly.
I mean, it depends. A lot of people buy it on top lane.
Like
J-
Cork, like or like
J4?
Corky would buy this all the time in mid, like
Nah.
all the time, all the time,
Dorans.
every single game you buy this on Corky.
Every
in
of
mid
the
lane.
time.
all of the time.
Fine.
Go
Nah.
watch the LCK. Every single Corky mid will buy this. Every
A
single.
lot of
one.
them do. A lot of them do. I don't though, because I like the power I actually get from the other item. But
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying like if you're an aggressive, like, but like in a relatively close skill matchup, you're going to need this.
Yeah,
if
I
you're
agree.
like if you're
I
in
agree.
like a solo queue game
Yeah, I'm
and
a
you
pub
think you're just
stomp.
gonna shit on this person, like go for Doran's Blade or some shit.
Exactly. Those are the item changes. Next, we do have some mastery changes. Feast.
Oh my god.
The cooldown on it is being increased by 5 seconds, so you'll get a little bit less from that. I want to see how that'll be actually impact things, because you might actually swap, but we'll see. I'll keep an eye on that. Oh, what?
I just think AoE 80 carries
Yeah.
is something to think about now.
Yeah.
Like Misfortune, like maybe you get the increased damage one instead of the feast one.
Yeah.
Or like AoE, just champions that have AoE, you might go the other way, but I think it'll be the same for solo target champions like Bane or like Jhin, for instance.
Free win, Jin.
Free win Jhin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then Secret Stash. Instant biscuit health. It's being reduced, the health down to 15 from 20, but the instant mana comes back up to 10. So a little trade off there. I don't really care about this change. It's fine, personally. Grasp of the Undying. The health steal is going to be reduced by 0.5% of maximum health. So it's 2.5. Takes a little bit of power out of all the tanks that are taking it. So
It's still gonna be good.
still good, but yeah, it's not as good as it was.
Like most of the time, people took this for trading early game, and like when you're talking that, it's just like, how much health that you're talking.
Do you have a channel now, Kyle? Do you still do bonus content? You don't really post much, do you?
No, I don't really. I'm planning on kicking it back up, I guess, if we're gonna sidebar.
Well, somebody's asking.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Steven has called it though.
Oh, yeah. Just for your information, I came up with an idea of a day on the Rift,
Oh.
and so I'm just gonna like play one champion like an entire night, and then just kind of edit it down and put it out.
Not bad. I'm gonna steal that idea and put it out tomorrow. So if everybody's looking for a
Good.
Just kidding. Just kidding. You need to actually help me with some A to Z. I need some people to play with.
All right.
I haven't played in a while. But now that I'm all moved and shinana, I can
Should be better.
start making videos again. So, no, that sounds cool though. Grasp the Undying though, yeah, it's still decent, but a nerf. A nerf. Spell shields is actually next. A bug fixed where certain abilities could pop a spell shield and still take effect. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a bad thing. Store visual refresh. The store looks different. The navigation bar has fewer categories. Access the menu for runes and boosts. Ward skins, summoner icons, and Hextech chests are keys live here. RP gifting and accounts, names, transfers, buttons can be found at the right side of the navigation bar.
Navigation bar.
Navigation bar. New champion select. Fixed a bug where viewing another player's masteries when a new champion select queue popped caused you to lose access to your own masteries. That sucks.
Wow, what the shit?
Yeah. The ranked stats panel view is the See More Stats menu has returned. The game creation lottery now indicates which type of points can be earned through matches arranged via new champion select. In-game settings. Things have changed. Quickcast is the default setting for all abilities and item hotkeys. Range indicators are now enabled by default. That's nice to know. Bug fixes. Lots of stupid things.
We can skip those if you want to read through those. I don't see why we'd read through all of them.
Yeah, basically things that should have worked better
Now
work better.
Yeah.
Upcoming skins. Inferno Diana.
Also known as Sun Goddess Diana.
So, Leona?
Yes. Hopefully they come out with a Moony Leona. That'd be cool.
That would actually be kind of neat. In a weird way. Because they're, I think it looks neat. I haven't actually seen it in game though, so.
I just saw a short snippet of it, and it's just like a whole bunch of fiery animations and stuff. So
I might get
it's
it.
pretty basic.
I play a lot of
yeah,
Diana,
I like
though.
Diana.
She's a good champion.
I like Diana a
Whenever
lot.
anybody asks me if they should buy blah 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 or Diana, I always say Diana because she's always good.
Yeah. Can we touch on something real quick? We kind of glossed over the new champion
Are
select.
we gonna do touch butts? What are we gonna?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But what is your opinion? I haven't really talked to you about this at all.
Yeah.
About them basically saying that they were going to scrap solo queue. Because they were going to come out with, they came out with dynamic queue, and they were like, okay, solo queue should be 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
And that was 3 months ago. And now they're just like, we don't think, we're just going to adjust dynamic queue to the point where it's good enough. And it doesn't, I know of people, I know a few people that are bronze players that basically they get with a buddy who's on their Smurf, and then they rank up to a certain point, and then they get in that party, a party with 4 or 5 people, and then it's just they're plat 2 right now, but they just play with really high ranked people in a group of 4 or 5, and so it's just that's not individual. This solo queue
It's not the
is
same as solo queue. But
solo
didn't they
queue
say
is-
you should be going up against people that are those same, party sizes and everything?
and that doesn't happen.
Oh,
Because
does it
if that
not?
happen, because if it happens like that, well, I'm thinking of mid to high, mid diamond up
Okay.
now. There's
They
not
shouldn't be
enough
allowed
players,
to do it at all.
There's not enough players in that elo bracket.
No.
You'd be waiting 45, 60 minutes for a
Or
game
longer.
or longer.
Dude,
And
I
so
wait forever just for games for normal games.
everyone from basically plat up are
Sh-
begging for solo queue back.
They kind of need it. They need to make it so you can only duo at most above a certain level.
Well, that would just take away the point of dynamic queue. Well,
then
you're
here's
you're
their other
at a
option.
you're saying at a certain elo you can only solo queue.
Yes. Or what they
That's-
should do is they should allow more people to gain IP, and then there should be more people in the ranks. They should allow more percentage of blank to be plat, more percentage to be diamond, more percentage to be. There's
But
enough.
then you're just diluting the actual skill base, and
Just a
you're gonna
tiny
have,
bit.
Yeah, but I guess if you're adjusting the numbers just a tiny bit, it's all just kind of based on how much of a percent you want. But I already think that Masters and Challenger is too big. There's too many
Oh,
people
really?
in those 2 ranks
Oh, you think-
because
oh, okay.
yeah, because there's a very drastic difference from the people that I see at the top of the rank queue, or like the top of Challenger, and like the bottom of Masters. Like it's a drastic fucking difference.
I think one of the big problems is there's people who don't take every game seriously, even
Yeah.
within those, and so it's super trolly regardless. And so, you know what my answer is to all of this?
Come out with
Don't play it. Like,
No. Well, I guess when you said that, what immediately comes to my mind is like I see like Voyboy, Dyrus, I'm a Cutie Pie, like I will dominate, and someone else like fill in the Antibot or someone, and they queue as 5 and they play troll ass stuff and they still destroy people
yeah,
because they're playing against like they're all on Skype, they all have comms, like it's
Yeah.
just not fair. And
I,
so
I agree.
I don't know. I think they need to come back with solo queue.
Yeah, I kind of agree. They like I said, above a certain point, specifically probably like maybe Plat 1, but probably more like D3, depending on where you want to. I mean, they can pick. Regardless, at a certain point, groups beyond the size of 2 should not be allowed within dynamic queue. And I know you say that breaks the system and the idea of what it was supposed to be, but I think for the small amount of people that is, because basically Diamond's so small anyways, I know there's thousands in it, but there's millions below, you know. I think for that size, there needs to be that exception.
But there's a, like what I see people's common defense is just like, well, now I get to pick my role no matter what. And we're not arguing about the pre-game lobby. That's not what we're arguing. Like we're arguing about like the actual like formula and like who you play against and like how it's calculated.
Yeah.
Because like the actual queue for dynamic, like choosing the 2 roles that you want to play is probably the best thing that's happened to League.
I think that's, yeah, I agree. It's awesome.
But you being able to queue up solo all the way to 5 is just too big of a variable. It's just there's too many things that go into it.
Well, then
And
the
what's-
other.
What was so wrong with instead of team queue or like ranked 5s have
Yeah.
dynamic queue and then
I
have
don't
solo queue? Like what is
I
so
don't know.
wrong?
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what's wrong with that. I do, but my other big thing, and you're saying it's not working. They need to ingrain it to work. If 5 of those guys queue up as 5, they need to be put against 5 other people who are also all queuing up. And you're saying, well, that could take an hour or longer. The game should notify them there are no other 5 blah blah blahs queuing within the last.
So separate and play alone. Like,
Well,
isn't
they
the whole
should.
point? Isn't the whole point of dynamic queue to play with people?
Well, then that comes back to my other argument of you need to allow way more people into those top tiers, and you're saying they're still too good for them. Well, they should just not play this game so goddamn much.
Yeah, that's their job.
Well, I know, but there's no win-win for the best players. Then their job should be that they should be on pro teams, which they've done or had the chance to. Like, then that's their job. Like, they should be playing in scrims during the day against other pros for a professional organization. If they
Well, no,
want
what I mean, but like you're thinking of it like their job. Like I'm thinking their job is in like Voyboy gets like 8 to 10,000 people watch him at a time. That's like fucking 10 grand a month.
Oh, wait, more. It's more than that.
Well, I'm just saying like low
Yeah, I
end.
know what you're saying. Yeah,
like
yeah.
like low end. Like it's like it's their
crazy.
job. They have to do it.
Yeah. Well, then they're just gonna be pub stomping, which is what people want to see.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. It's just what it is. I don't think there's really one way to fix it besides limiting certain terms, but it will only be applied to top of the table. So. But that's what it is. But
I suppose that makes sense. They need to just bring solo. Like, just have not even duo queue, just solo queue.
yeah, no, I agree. Solo queue would be fine because I know some people want it, so why not? I agree.
A lot of people want it.
I
Like
know.
I'm gonna say
Let's petition this
half
shit.
of the half of the rank queue want solo queue back.
Send it to the White House, yo.
Yeah, get on your phone and talk to your peeps at Rito.
Call your senators. Tell them
Yes.
that they get paid too much.
Signed a petition.
Yeah. And then something.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But I think overall that's patch notes, right? It is.
Can I say one other thing?
Sure.
Pick fucking Trundle when Meowkai is picked. That's all.
Oh my god, yes. People pick it against me all the time to counter me when I play Maokai.
It's
And
so annoying. 'Cause
I
it's
still beat him, but
so dumb.
It
Like you
is-
just build some 80 items on that guy, boom, dead.
Oh yeah, you still get locked out.
Did
But
you do an Overwatch thing, or why did someone say more Overwatch
I don't
guy?
know. I don't have Overwatch access right now, so
Maybe
uh,
they were talking about your curse video. Didn't you do a curse video for that?
well, Curse makes videos for Overwatch, but I haven't touched those ones because I think Mitch is handling that.
What's a Mitch?
Mitch is the co-host. Mitch Dash Star, really popular
Oh,
YouTuber.
gotcha. All right. I know.
No,
Okay.
okay.
Nah, you're good.
My Aussie friend. Um,
Oh, that's kind of racist.
well, he is Australian.
Oh, awkward.
Awkward. But yeah, that's gonna be the patch for 6.8. Let us know. Let us know what you think about it in the comments below. Please leave us a like or a dislike if you really hated it. I don't really care. It still makes the video more popular, regardless of which one of those two things you do. Share it with a friend if you also think that they suck at knowing the patch and you think they should know it. Embed it on your Facebook wall because your mom really wants to like this post.
Or
Or what?
if you think that we're dumb and you just want to share our stupid opinions with your friends, share it that way too.
That's true. That's true. But other than that, we will wish you all the very best of luck in the new patch, and we'll see you guys later. All right? All
Bye.
right. Bye bye now. Bye.